From the Studio 13 Studios in Splendora, Texas, Hank's Think Tank is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Quiet on set. Picture is up. All right, roll sound.
Rolling.
Roll cameras.
Cams rolling.
And 3, 2.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Hank's Think Tank. Today I have Chief Stephen Carlisle in here with me today, and we're going to have a good discussion. We're going to talk about local politics. We're going to talk about Stephen Carlisle. We're going to talk about Tased. We're going to talk about Roman Forest. I'll bet you we even talk about the weather. And good afternoon, Chief. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good to have you in here with us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
So what's the weather today?
The weather is pretty nice. I liked it.
It has
I
been
didn't have
good.
to wear a jacket. So
Yeah, it has been good. I kind of overdressed a little bit. I got used to putting sweaters back on, and then somebody said it's going to be 75 degrees. I was like, what the heck, man?
Oh, it was perfect.
You know, no, I'm looking for some 40-degree stuff. I like that cold weather.
Yeah, I like the cold weather at night when I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I don't want it to be wet, though. And for some reason in Texas, it's always raining when it's cold.
Well, I'm not going to complain about the rain right now. After those couple months, we didn't have anything.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Pretty rough. Well, Chief, I know you do a lot of stuff in this community, so it's going to be hard to kind of navigate through everything you do because it's complex. You know, there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. Where would you like to start out? I'll tell you what, let's start out with Chief.
All right.
You have been the chief of Roman Forest Police Department for how long? It's been a while.
Halloween marked my 11th year as chief.
Man, 11 years.
Yeah, that's the longest serving chief for the city of Roman Forest. And right now I'm actually the longest sitting serving chief for municipalities in Montgomery County.
In all of Montgomery County.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Are you tired of the job? I mean, 11 years?
I love it. I feel like I just began.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
gone
know
by fast.
Roman Forest is highly respected, man. Y'all are a top level agency, and you even have a training facility, and that's something that you put together, right?
Yeah, back in 2007, I was sergeant at the time. I petitioned the state regulatory agency, TCOL, for us to have be a training provider for this area of the county, and so we train all 4 cities, the 2 school districts, and the constables, and even sometimes the sheriff department send somebody, and somebody from Humble, somebody from Cleveland. So even further out, they send us to train.
Yeah, and that's an ongoing thing because there's a certain amount of required training a year, isn't there?
Oh yes, there's a lot of required training the state does, and every session, every legislative session, they always add to that list. So
yeah. And you teach all those classes. Well, you teach a lot of those classes.
Well, I teach a lot of them. One of my favorite ones to teach is the instructor class and also the taser class.
I know you like the taser class.
Yeah. I've tased probably most of the East Montgomery County officers.
Have you kept account of how many people you tased?
No, I haven't.
Do you have a favorite?
A favorite? I think all of them are
favorite victim?
No, I've probably tased more officers than anybody in the area.
Wow. Yeah, that's something else. I was there when Bubba Tullis got tased.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't help but laugh.
He would have to be my favorite. I took that video, and the people that were holding him on both sides, they right about 3 or 4 inches before they laid him down, they dropped him.
Oh, they did?
And I made a video where he dropped several times in the video.
Oh,
Backed it up, forward.
He's a big dude, though. You know, I'm sure he's pretty heavy.
Oh, yeah, he's a good dude, too. So.
Yeah, he is. Yes. I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever want to be tased, though. It looks like it's pretty painful to me.
Oh, well, I can arrange it if you do.
That's okay.
I go to the Constable Citizens Academy.
And,
every year, ever since they've had it, and I do a little taser instruction for the Citizens Academy. And every time there's always 2, 3, or 4 that want to be tased. And
really?
I don't deny them, as long as they sign a little waiver for me.
Wow, that's crazy. Have you ever had anybody that's had any medical issues after?
No, never.
Really?
Never.
So it doesn't affect your heart or anything? It seems like it would.
No, it doesn't.
Wow. So
I've even tased a couple with a pacemaker.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't affect anything.
Wow. So it just gives you a jolt and you just can't move, I guess, huh?
Yeah, if it's done right, it kind of locks you up where you don't have much control.
No, well, I guess you got to use the restroom first, huh?
I always tell everybody, drain all your fluids.
That's it. That's it.
So,
Well, also, you sit on the board for the East Montgomery County Improvement District.
I do.
And so how long have you been on that board?
2014, so that would be coming up on 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, wow. 10 years already.
Not quite 10, but coming up.
Man, don't get me doing the math on that one. So, yeah, and for the people who don't know, MSED is an improvement district, and they get their money from our taxes that we pay when we purchase goods and services
Right.
in the area, and they get a portion of that sales tax money. And it actually adds up to quite a lot. What's y'all's annual budget now, like 20 mil?
I think this year was 18, but I didn't review those numbers.
That's a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of money.
Yeah, a lot of people believe that we get we get ad valorem tax, property tax, but we don't. It's only sales tax.
Yeah.
And but with the increase in businesses in the area, that budget just grows every year.
Okay. And what do y'all do with that money? So what happens with it?
Well, we do community, a lot of community type projects. We fund some funds for the fire departments and community development grants. Matter of fact, today we had a MSED meeting at noon, and we awarded over $18,000 worth of community grants.
Okay.
So we funded, I don't remember how many, it was about, I said 18,000? No, it's 85,000 is what we funded today.
Okay.
And I think there was about 17 or 18 groups, nonprofit groups.
Mm-hmm.
And I was proud to do that today.
And what kind of things do they get, and what do they do with the money?
Different things. Boy Scouts might ask for something that they need for the Boy Scouts. These pet companies that do spaying and neutering, or to help control the population of
that's a
stray
big deal.
dogs and stuff like that. We fund them, and sometimes the city police departments might come and ask for something, and we just funded some for Roman Forest. Actually, we funded a program to where they can buy some sim guns. It's where they shoot. It's almost like a real gun, but it shoots out paint instead of a bullet, and we get to use them in realistic type training.
Oh, wow.
Matter of fact, the state mandates you were talking about earlier, that's our response to that. They just made it to where every 2 years, every single officer has to have 16 hours of alert training. That's the training where you go into active shooter type scenarios.
Yeah.
So,
man, what a world we've come to where we have to have that kind of stuff.
Another thing we funded on the way into your place today, I was looking at these banners of soldiers. Have you seen that?
On 2090?
On 2090.
Yeah.
These banners, we contributed to that. And that was very proud to see that. I seen it for the first time today driving down. And
yeah, that's a cool deal. And I don't remember what the actual date is, but I think it's Memorial Day or when they're going to do the celebration in Splendora.
Yeah, they just posted that. It is,
I believe it's next Friday.
It is November 11th at 2 p.m.
November 11th, 2 p.m. in Splendora.
Splendora.
At the little memorial thing they have behind City Hall.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of banners of the soldiers, their fallen soldiers that from our area, from the MSED's boundaries.
Yeah.
It's a really good program.
I was
really proud
cool
to see that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of those out there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's too
a
bad.
few more things that MSED's done.
Well, I know that you guys have been integral in helping to fund ESD7, the fire department.
Yes.
And those guys have needed that, and you've helped them to get to a good place.
Yes.
Because I know that, like now we're starting to have multi-story buildings that are built out here, and they needed a ladder truck, and you guys were instrumental in getting that for them. And
we bought
those things aren't cheap.
Oh, those aren't cheap at all.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a little bit over $1 million.
Yeah.
And we bought a fire truck.
And I got a custom fun fact about fire trucks. Did you guys know you just can't go buy a fire truck? They don't have like a lot where you go and you say, well, I like the red one, and you pick that one out. Fire trucks are all custom made.
Yes, they
Every
are.
one of them. And you can pick what requirements it has, how tall of a ladder it has, how much gallonage it'll hold, what other equipment it'll hold. I mean, you can literally pick it and design it for your area. And that's what happened with the fire truck. It's cool.
Yeah, prior to getting on the MSID board, I was on the board of commissioners for the Porter Fire Department.
Okay.
And I thought it was a big thing to when we bought a fire truck then, and then
Yeah.
I thought that was a lot of money for a fire truck, and then about twice as much for a ladder truck. So,
Yeah. Yeah, they're extremely expensive, but worth it. You know,
Yes.
when you're saving human lives, man, that's definitely
Can
worth
you
it.
put a price on a human life?
I can't.
I
You
can't
know,
either.
so yeah, so that's a good thing. Anything else that you've championed at MSED? Is there any programs or anything that you've put together that still exist, or?
Well, MSID's a board of directors. There's 8 people on the board.
Okay.
And we do have a president, and the president is an employee. So on the board side, we have the chairman, and we have the vice chairman and treasurer, and there's 8 of us. And
Okay.
I'm the vice chairman, and we've championed things. I don't know if I would want to put my name on any specific project. I think we
Okay.
all. Our president brings a lot of things to us to make decisions.
Right.
So, but I can name a few things that's just happened recently.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Right here in Splendora, Steel. That's a $20 million in value project. It's going to create 125 jobs.
Okay.
It's
Great.
being built right here in Splendora. The ad valorem on that's going to help the county. It's going to help all these other services, government services, just from the ad valorem value on there. $200 million. And then still right here in Florida, we got, Florida. I don't know where that come from. Right here in Splendora, we got Whataburger coming.
Cool.
We got Popeyes coming. And there's another business coming that it's not quite released yet. So
Okay.
We always respect the people we deal with, so we don't release premature information because they're a business and they have their rules for releasing, so we don't want to tread on that. But just Whataburger and Popeyes alone, that's 75 jobs. And most of those type jobs go to the youth.
Right.
So having more local jobs for the youth, that's less travel time that they're doing at night when they get off. And I think that's a good safety aspect.
Yeah. Plus, it gives us some variety out here.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit more variety.
Yeah.
Another thing is we got a park space that we're working on. We purchased 65 acres, and we're looking at adding an additional 45 acres. We talked a little bit about that at our board meeting today.
Okay.
And adding park space, green space.
Okay.
We've done a study to see what's best to go into that park. Like bicycle
And this would be a
trails
park
and
that would be available for everybody in East County, right?
everybody.
Okay.
It'll be a public park. It'll
Cool.
be available to everybody.
Where is it?
1485, and it actually spans a little bit bigger, but you can see it from 1485 and Gene Campbell.
Okay.
But it goes way deep out into the woods, and the additional acreage that we're looking at is even further. And this land can't be used for a lot of other things. So park space and green space is perfect for this land.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Another thing is we're bringing a toilet paper company from Mexico. They currently make toilet paper for Walmart and all these other chains, and then they have their own. They have their own toilet paper too, their own brands. But
It's
that's
weird
a
when you
four-
think of the fact that there's a company that makes toilet paper.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
do more than just toilet paper. They
Yeah.
do paper products, but
But toilet papers are a big deal.
yeah, well, I don't think we're going to have that problem here locally that we had back in 2020.
Yeah.
So that on the ground, it's going to be eventually $400 million in ad valorem value.
Jeez, really? That's a
Yeah,
big
just
place.
Think, that's going to help the constables, help the county, the schools, the fire departments, anybody who depends on ad valorem taxes, the property taxes.
Okay.
So
And where will that
400
be?
million. That's going to be in our industrial park.
Okay.
On Gene Campbell.
Okay.
Where the Walmart
Distribution center,
is,
and there's something else over there
and
too.
the Lowe's distribution.
Yeah.
That's the largest building in Montgomery County.
Really?
Yeah, we
I'll have to go
worked
check that
really
out.
hard on that a few years ago.
Yeah.
So another thing that I'm really proud of, just last meeting, not the one today, but the one before, we approved to expand the holiday Safe Shopper program. That's where we have constables. Constable Rowdy Hayden, his
Precinct 4. Yeah.
Precinct 4 constables. We provide. We have been providing about 75, 80 grand a year for that project. That provides extra patrol for all the business district, all the retail shopping,
Like Valley Ranch and all that.
over on North Park where the Kroger's at,
The Walmarts.
yeah, Walmart and Porter, Walmart and New Caney,
Okay.
some Splendora shopping centers has popped up, but we increased that. We increased it to 100,000 this year.
Okay.
It pays for constables to patrol in car, foot patrol, horseback patrol. And the citizens really love that horseback patrol. They do a really good job.
I bet.
With that. Bicycle patrol, even some plain clothes assignments. So Chief Barry Welch, he heads up that program. He does an awesome job. They don't only just do that during the time that we pay them to do it. They also do the studies. They meet with the managers of the businesses and try to create a good relationship. And they got some apps and stuff that helps them with communication.
Okay.
So Barry does an awesome job with that.
Yeah, I was actually at an MSED meeting. I don't remember if it was last year or year before, where they had reported, and I was so surprised how many arrests they had and how much they did. And I was like, man, that's a pretty effective program.
Yeah, when Chief Welch and Constable Rowdy Hayden was up there explaining to us some past years how things worked out. There was one year where everybody but one, I think it was last year or the year before, but every shoplifter but one, they were able to return all the merchandise back to the store.
That's pretty good. That's pretty effective because there was unfortunately a lot of shoplifting going on.
Yeah, so they do an awesome job on that, and I'm proud to be behind that program. I definitely speak forward on that.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, help keep the citizens safe and make just for a better environment, especially during the holiday season, where I think everybody's a little apprehensive anyway.
Right.
You know, it's unfortunate that we got to be, but we are. All right, so we got an election coming up for the city of Roman Forest. I know there's some candidates that are running. There's a mayoral position, I think 2 or 3 other council positions.
There's a mayor position, and there's 3 other councilman positions. One of them is only a year. It's a special election to finish out a term of one of the councilmen who resigned. And then there's the 2 normal ones that's on the ballot this time of year. So there's 7 there's actually 8 candidates, but one of them doesn't have an opponent.
Right. Greg Parton doesn't have an opponent.
Yeah, he doesn't have an opponent, but between the other positions that's up for election, there's 7 candidates, and only one of them is existing, and that's our mayor.
Yeah.
So, and as Mayor Parr, he's always been supportive of the police department. He allows me to, he empowers me to be able to do what I need to do with the police department. With his guidance, he's always been good to us. I can't back any particular candidate because, I don't think that's the chief of police position. But I do say that we have worked together pretty well.
Okay. Yeah. And I know Mayor Parr. I've had to deal with him several times. I think he's been great. And, in my opinion, I think he deserves another term. So I'm not afraid to jump up on that fence and wave my Mayor Parr flag. So there you go, Mayor Parr. So just between us, do you think Greg Parton will win?
I think there's a very good chance Greg is going to win.
I think so. I just wonder if he'll get 100% of the votes.
Yeah, well, you never know.
Yeah, you don't know in any of these elections. There may be a write-in candidate or something.
Yeah, you never know.
So
that happens.
Also, I know that you're a Mason and a Shriner.
I am.
So you want to talk a little bit about Masonry and about being a Shriner?
So there's a local reporter, editor, Jamie Nash. She's editor for the Montgomery County Police Reporter.
Right.
she jokes with me all the time, and she calls me Captain Etc. She come up with that idea.
Okay.
Never publicly, but I guess it's the first time I mentioned it publicly, but I call her up all the time, or I'll text her. I say, hey, guess what? She said, what, another title? So I've got all kinds of things that I've done, and one of them is I'm the president of our local Shriners.
Okay.
And Shriners it's the fun part of Freemasonry. We raise money and have fun doing it, like maybe a little poker game or a motorcycle ride. I do 2 motorcycle rides a year.
Right.
We got a sportsman group. We got all kinds of different groups, and we all just raise money and have fun doing it. And with the exception of operations, a lot of the money, or probably most of the money we raise, goes to the Shrine Hospital for Children.
Right, that's the Shrine Burn Hospital, right?
Well, Burn is just one example. They do orthopedic, they do all kind of different stuff. It's an international hospital.
Right.
So.
And it's the hospital where kids go and their families never get a bill.
Right.
So it's 100% funded by Shriners.
Right. They never.
That's crazy.
Everybody under 18
That's
years
great.
of age gets. There's no bill. They do take donations, and if somebody wants to pay it, pay money as a donation, they can. But a bill is never sent out, and we do nothing but raise money for that, and it's a good program.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And
have you visited the Shrine Hospital to check it out?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's awesome. We had one in Houston, the orthopedic center, but strategically it was good to merge the Houston and Galveston hospitals, and the Galveston has always been the burn hospital, and they fly in kids from Mexico or wherever,
right?
And they all go there, and they treat the burn victims.
Wow,
it's a good program though.
It is a good program. And it's an extension of Masonry, right? The Shriners?
Yes, and so is the Eastern Star.
Okay.
I belong to the Eastern Star. I'm an officer. This year I'm an officer. If they'll have me again, I'll be an officer next year. This year I'm the associate patron, and next year I plan on being the worthy patron, which is my duty to them. And I think it's a good organization. We do scholarships for our local high schools kids, and same thing with Masonry. We do scholarships and.
So you're a member of 3 organizations that does scholarships, because I know MSED does a scholarship, and that's to every kid.
Every kid.
Wow.
Every graduating senior.
Yeah, and it's $1,600 or something like that.
It has changed recently. I think it's $1,600.
$1,600.
Yeah.
Take advantage of that, guys.
Yeah.
If you have a kid in school who's graduating, go after that scholarship, because everybody gets it.
Yeah, every graduating senior.
And then I know Masonry provides 6 scholarships that are $1,000 a piece.
6 scholarships, and then the Eastern Star does another 3.
Wow, that's a bunch.
So
that's fun.
Yeah.
I was on the scholarship committee for Sanby Crawford Lodge for a couple of years, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It's fun passing out $1,000 to people. Going, here you go, here you go, here you go. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, seeing the look on their face, they get all these kids. They get $1,000 here, $1,000 there, but it all adds up.
Absolutely, and it's a good bump for that education.
MSED not only does that, also the at the rodeo when people bid on these animals and stuff. What do they call
the livestock
clubs? 4-H clubs.
Yeah, the 4-H and all. Yeah,
MSED will match those funds so that the kids have a larger amount.
Wow. Wow, that's pretty good too.
So there's a lot of things that, I'm involved in all kinds of different organizations, and they're all good, and they all put back to the community, and that's my way of giving back.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And so anything else that you're involved in that you can think of off the top of your head?
Well, I also am a business owner.
Okay.
I mean, being on the MSED board, it's being a cop, that qualifies me to be on the MSED board? No, I don't think so.
Being intelligent qualifies you.
Yeah, but being a business owner more qualifies me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right now, Carlisle Investments is my company, Carlisle Investments LLC.
Okay.
I have 15 rental homes. so I own 16 homes.
And that's a heck of a responsibility.
Yeah,
Hope you got people working for you.
Well, yeah. I do have a property manager because there's no way that I can do everything I do. And do.
Right.
So I have a property manager. I have a full-time maintenance supervisor. He has help. Even my son, when he's in town, he helps me, and I'm teaching him the business, and he helps my maintenance supervisor remodel some things. I got 4 homes right now under construction.
Wow.
Can only do one at a time.
Yeah.
But he helps. Matter of fact, he's probably working this week with him.
That'll be a great retirement income. You know? You're a young guy, though. You still got a ways to go for retirement, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't make any money as far as profit off of it because right now everything that I get in, I reinvest. But
nothing wrong with that. That's good.
It's it makes it bigger. So
great.
Not only that, my wife is the owner of Laura's Dog Grooming.
Hey, Laura's Dog Grooming. I love that place. So we've been taking our dogs there for years, and she does a great job.
Yeah, I think she's more popular than me. I mean, everybody says, "Hey, you're Laura's husband."
Yeah,
like, yeah, she's my wife, but yeah,
yeah. She's got a good place, and it's over on it's on 59,
it's on
right
59,
at 1485, I guess it is.
Yeah, 59, 1485 used to be the Brookshire Brothers there.
That's right,
and
right next to Dr. Barry Willen's office, if he's still there.
Right next door.
Yeah,
yeah, right. Yeah. Her shop's right behind Burger King.
Okay,
and, next door to Planet Fitness. And
there you go. Yeah, Laura's Dog Grooming. So if you've got a dog and you want to have nails clipped and give it a bath and just a spa day, it's a place to go. And it's reasonable rates and it's good care. And what I like about it is when you walk in, there's windows and you can literally see all the way through the place.
Yep.
And you can watch what's going on. So you know your dogs are safe. They're well taken care of. Can't speak more highly of another dog grooming place than Laura's. I've been to a few and wasn't really happy, but Laura's always treated our animals with great respect and always been good to us. Yeah. So big shout out to you, girl. You're doing good.
Yeah, she's good. And speaking of family, so I got my son. He's been in the Army for 10 years. So
yeah, that's a good long time.
Matter of fact, I had to sign for him to get in when he was 17.
Really?
Yeah, the recruiter showed up at my door. he said, "Hey, your son wants to join." I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm not going to argue with that." So I've been very proud of him. He's been to Korea, Afghanistan. He wants to go back to both of those places, but they pulled out of Afghanistan and Korea.
Yeah.
He's been to Kuwait. He's been where else?
Now, which branch is it? The Army?
Army.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, these are kind of stressful times, though. I don't know if I'd want to be in the Army right now. Yeah. You know, we got half the world that's kind of under conflict and doesn't look like it's going to get any better, so I hope he stays safe.
Well, by the time his contract's up, he'll have 12 years. He might as well go another 8 and retire. Yeah.
And he's a young guy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's good.
So, yeah, I'm definitely proud of him. And
sure.
And then what else? I'm the vice president of the Regulators Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club.
Okay.
I mean, another title.
That's cool.
And
yeah, I'm starting to see where Jamie Nash gets it. Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of them. Not think I used to be a scoutmaster, Cub Scout master. We had a police explorer group, and I was the chartered organization representative there. And I know there's other things I'm not thinking about, but
yeah. Well, I'm glad I got a chance to get you on. I really wanted to thank you for everything that you do for the community, and it's a lot. I mean, you do a lot in your capacity as a police officer, in your capacity as a chief, in your capacity on the MSED board, and in your capacity as a Mason and a Shriner. Mm-hmm. Not that many people give that much time, and so that's, it's a heck of a statement, man, and that's why you're so well known in the community. Yeah. I can't go anywhere and mention your name and somebody doesn't know you, and that's a good thing. Yeah. So, I mean, I go all the way to Commissioner's Court, and I'll be talking to somebody, and something will come up, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I was over at Roman Forest training or something like that." Hey, Carlisle? They're like, "Yeah." So it's quite a feat to get all that done and still run a business, and still keep a level head. Yeah. So.
I also have hobbies. Matter of fact, it's a business and a hobby. I have since since 2000 or so, somewhere around in there. I had a business selling like collectibles, Star Wars mainly. And
we had a discussion about Star Wars in your office one day, and I was really confused.
Yeah.
You're like, don't watch Star Wars 1 until you watch another one. I was like,
oh yeah,
how
you
am I
got to
supposed
watch
to
it in a certain order, and
Yeah.
you got to wait and play with all the toys and learn all the characters. That's the proper way to do it. I don't think you can do it properly. You have to be my age and go through that the whole lifelong Star Wars thing.
I think I finally saw Star Wars 1, but I
man.
haven't seen any of the others.
I need to hang out with you one day or for a couple days at my house, and we'll do a binge watch.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, but I have a big, massive Star Wars collection. I personally collect the old stuff, from the 70s and early 80s stuff.
Okay.
But I get in collections. I buy people's collections and stuff. I get that stuff in, and there's more modern toys and stuff like that, and I sell them at Comic Cons.
Oh, okay.
Now
cool.
that's a hobby / business.
Right.
Every bit of the money that I might make from selling things at Comic Cons and stuff, I turn around probably at that Comic-Con and I spend it.
Go right back into it.
so
Yeah,
it's not a
gotcha.
business really to make money, but
Yeah, you've got a pretty good man cave that's got all that stuff in it, right?
I got an 800 square foot man cave full of Star Wars stuff. And,
That's crazy.
I don't want to tell everybody
of
what the
stuff.
value of my Star Wars stuff is because I don't want my camera systems to go off.
Yeah, I got you.
But it's pretty valuable.
That's cool. That's
So-
cool. Well, man, I appreciate you coming in. This was a good talk, and it'll be interesting to see how the elections turn out on November the 7th, which is a week away.
Yeah.
So
not too far along the road is going to be MSED's going to be up again.
yeah,
Not me this time along, but our current board, we're working on all these projects, and there's so many projects similar to what I mentioned that we're working on that I can't really talk about right now because, like I said, we got to
Right.
respect other businesses.
yeah, confidentiality
timeline.
agreements and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
So-
understand.
But our board that we have right now is top notch, and we're working on them.
Yeah, I know pretty much everybody on the board. I think you got good people on the board.
Yeah.
I think they're conscientious and they're all in it for the same reason, and that's to help to move the community forward and make sure that we
Right.
live in a good place.
Right.
So I got no problems with that. I think that, and elections are good, but at the same time, every once in a while, you just need to stay steadfast for a little bit and
Right.
see what happens. That may be this term. So it'll be interesting to see how it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention about Roman Force. You start off with Roman Force.
Okay.
We kind of breezed over that, but today somebody told me that there's some kind of story out there. I hadn't looked for it yet, but how Roman Force is one of the greater cities to live in the Houston area. I'm going to go look for it.
Well,
after
it
I
wouldn't
leave
surprise
here.
me.
And then I know in several years, I specifically know in 2015 we were ranked the second safest city in the Houston Metroplex. And then we've bounced around from number 2 to number 4 to number 3. We hadn't hit number 1. That'll be a goal. But
It seems like y'all,
we've always
number
been one of
one
the
shouldn't be
safest.
too hard to hit.
Yeah.
And it's interesting you should say that because I heard either yesterday or the day before that where we're at in Splendora, that it's one of the most dangerous places to live in Montgomery County.
I know. We're like a bubble.
What the hell?
We're like a little bubble.
Yeah.
So it's good to be part of that, and I've got a good team.
Do you think some of it is because of the way that Roman Force is laid out? Because, there's not a lot of ways in or ways out.
It might have
I think
a
it
little
has something to do with it.
Yeah, a little something. We're not actually right there on 59, so you have to venture off of 59 to find us. So maybe that has something to do with it. But we've got a lot of good residents. We all work together. I keep the communications open with the residents. I listen to their needs. I respond to them. And I've got a good team of officers.
Yeah, you absolutely do.
I definitely
And
couldn't
you've
do
grown that
myself.
team too. I think when you became chief, it was like 3 officers, and now you're up to what?
No, you're thinking of the mayor's terms.
Okay.
When he first got involved in council, there was 3 officers, and now we have 13.
Wow.
13 officers, full-time.
Yeah.
We got a handful of reserve officers, but
Cool.
Since I've been chief, I think we had 7 officers when I started, and now we got 13.
Yeah, and you've brought that agency into the 21st century too. So y'all are all high tech now, and
yeah, I think I like to think of things outside of the box. I like to do things before everybody did. You see, I got a beard. I got a full beard.
mm-hmm.
When I first became the chief, no police department had a full beard. In our area,
Mm-hmm.
I was the first one to do a full beard. I remember people coming up to me and say, "Oh, no, you can't do that," and I said, "Well, watch me," So
Yeah.
I let officers grow a full beard, and most officers just grew the goatee.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one officer, Officer Joshua Seaman, which
Mm-hmm.
he has since passed. I spoke at his funeral. He passed away during the COVID epidemic, and it was
Right.
a line of duty death.
Right.
But he had a full beard, and I didn't even like the idea myself of having a full beard as
Mm-hmm.
a police officer, but he made me realize that it doesn't look so bad, and there was 0 complaints from the residents. I heard from my counterparts
Mm-hmm.
saying, I don't know if you should be doing that. I did the visible tattoos, I did the beards, and no complaints. So that's just one example. I like to seek
That's
out.
progressive. Yeah, that's good.
So
That's great. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming in, and we do thank you for everything you do for this community, which is a lot. I want you to stay safe out there and make sure your people stay safe.
yeah, appreciate it, and I want to do this again. This is a pretty
Sounds
neat
good.
little thing. Like
Yeah.
you say to all these others, this is just a conversation between me and you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd love to do some updates. So, like, once a quarter or something, if you want to come
Oh,
in
yeah.
and update what's going on with the city,
yeah.
that'd be
Sorry
great.
it took me so long to find it in my schedule to come and talk to you.
You and me both. We've just had
Yeah.
conflicting schedules, but it finally came together.
How many have you interviewed so far? It's
Oh,
been a
wow.
lot.
Yeah, I
Been
think
a
I've got
lot.
like 150, over 150
Yeah.
shows.
There goes
So
my
there's-
outside the box and wanting to be the first thing, huh?
There's been a bunch. So, yeah, maybe we can come up with a new program or something, and you can be
There
the
you go.
first on it.
There you go.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Stephen Carlisle, and he is our favorite police chief in this area. And he's done a lot of good stuff for the city of Roman Forest, a lot of good stuff for East County. And look for him out in public. You'll see him. And just shake his hand and tell him hello. I am Hank Vatt. This is Hank's Think Tank, and we're out.